Well, on today's show, I want to take a look at this outbreak that's going on in the U.S. of this vaping-related lung disease. That's initially started about a month ago on uh, July 25th. I believe the first state that started reporting cases was Wisconsin. And we can see in about the course of a month, the number of cases have gone up to 215. And according to this BuzzFeed News map, the states have it starting out with 1 on 725 to 25 on 827. So it's growing rapidly and it's a lot of concern. So let's take a look at some of the basics. What do we know? What do we not know about this vaping related lung illness outbreak that's going on in the US today? Well, this is the most recent health alert network from the CDC. And they go over some information, the numbers, they go over some background. And if you're anything like me who is not really familiar with vaping and e-cigarettes, this can be pretty informative. So let me go over some general background first from the CDC and talk about some numbers and all that. And then we'll talk a little bit about the illnesses that have been seen. And it says e-cigarettes typically contain nicotine. Most also contain flavorings and other chemicals, and some may contain marijuana and other substances. They are known by many different names and come in many shapes, sizes, and device types. Devices may be referred to as e-cigs, vapes, e-hookahs, vape pens, mods, tanks, or electronic nicotine delivery systems. Some e-cigarette devices resemble other tobacco products, such as cigarettes. Some resemble ordinary household items, such as a USB flash drive or a pen or a flashlight. The use of e-cigarettes is sometimes referred to as vaping, that's a very common term, or juuling. E-cigarettes used for dabbing are sometimes called dab pens. Now, they can contain harmful or potentially harmful substances, including nicotine, lead, and other heavy metals, volatile organic compounds, and cancer-causing chemicals. And in addition, some of them are used to deliver illicit substances. And this may be acquired from unknown or unauthorized sources, like buying it off the street. Some e-cigarette pods or cartridges marketed for single use can be refilled with illicit or unknown substances. In addition, some e-cigarette products are used for dripping or dabbing. Dripping involves dropping e-cigarette liquid directly onto the hot coils of an e-cigarette, which can result in high concentrations of compounds like THC. Dabbing involves superheating substances such as butter, butane hash oil, and 710 that contain high concentrations of THC and other related compounds. So here's some of the numbers right now. As of August 27th, as I showed you in the BuzzFeed chart, there's been 215 possible cases that have been reported in 25 states. There's been one death in Illinois of an individual that had a history of recent e-cigarette use and was hospitalized with severe pulmonary disease and subsequently died. Although the etiology of e-cigarette associated pulmonary disease is undetermined, epidemiological investigations in affected states are ongoing to better characterize the exposures, demographics, clinical and laboratory features, and behavior of the patients. What do we know? All patients have reported using e-cigarette products. The exact number is currently unknown, but many patients have reported using e-cigarettes containing cannabinoid products such as THC and CBD. And then it talks a little bit about the symptoms, which I want to look at in more detail in this popular science article. But essentially, we're talking about respiratory problems, some GI problems, some other non-specific type of symptoms that are being seen in these patients. Now, in this popular science article, quote, "This is the headline we've been trying to prevent," says Joseph Allen, an environmental health scientist at Harvard University's Chan School of Public Health. Allen is the co-author of a study published earlier this year that found fungi and bacteria lurking in some popular brands of e-cigarette liquid. But he says contaminants are far from the only reason public health experts are worried about vaping. He generally studies the health impacts of chemical flavor inhalation, and he says that the flavors in vapes, while they may be proven safe for ingestion, where they go through the digestive tract, are not tested for their safety when aerosolized and inhaled into the lungs. Industrial workers who make flavorings have been warned about one specific hazard known as popcorn lung for more than a decade. First detected in workers who inhaled chemicals used in microwave popcorn, this is what happens when your lungs' smallest airways, the bronchioles, become inflamed and scarred. The bronchioles branch off to deliver air to tiny sacs called alveoli, which is where oxygen actually makes its way into your blood. With enough damage to the bronchioles, you can block off that last leg of the journey and leave alveoli, and by extension, your blood and the rest of you starved for oxygen. Groups of chemicals linked to popcorn lung appear in some vapes, but even worse, the inhaled effects of many e-cigarette substances are totally unknown. Quote, when you have millions of kids inhaling this cocktail of chemicals that were never tested for inhalation safety, this type of headline is predictable and also avoidable, Dr. Allen says. Then on Friday, we have this statement from CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield and the acting FDA Commissioner, Dr. Ned Sharpless, concerning the investigation. And it says, even though cases appear similar, it is not clear if these cases have a common cause or if they are different diseases with similar presentations, which is why our ongoing investigation is critical. So the CDC and the FDA are providing consultation to state health departments and working closely with them to gather information on any products or substances used. So CDC is helping out some of the states that have been pretty hard hit, for example, Illinois and Wisconsin. So they're up in those states assisting with the investigation and the epi work. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of unknowns here so far, but I guess the one common characteristic is e-cigarette use. But still, a lot of unknowns, so I'm not pointing fingers at anything at this point. And finally, what's the administration saying about this? Well, HHS Secretary Alex Azar released a statement on Friday, and it said, quote, HHS and the Trump administration are using every tool we have to get to the bottom of this deeply concerning outbreak of illnesses in Americans who use e-cigarettes. More broadly, we will continue using every regulatory and enforcement power we have to stop the epidemic of youth e-cigarette use. This situation and the rising tide of youth tobacco use is a top public health priority for the Trump administration and every leader at HHS. So just wanted to give you a short update, the numbers, a little background, some of the illness that's being seen, just to give you, and what officials are saying about this at this point. Still, like I said, some things are known, a lot of things are still unknown. So we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this, and I appreciate you watching. And if you liked what you saw, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and I'll see you next time.